Let's face it, Pokemon Go is going to be unreal. I mean, Pokemon in our world? Move over, childhood imagination, we don't need you anymore. Just a few things before we get cracking with this video. I've already made a video on 10 things that I want to see when Pokemon blesses us from up above with this masterpiece that will inspire generations, so make sure you click the screen now to watch that video first, because I'm not going to be repeating myself. Also, since that video has come out, we've actually gotten some more info about the game, so that will also not be on the list. Finally, I've been reading the comments, and some things I really agree with, so I'll be factoring those in too. So, without any further ado, let's get to 10 more things I want in Pokemon Go. Number 1. Now, I want to catch them all, and there are certainly tons of Pokemon that I would need to catch in order to earn that prestigious title. However, one of the best features that has been a staple in the Pokemon series was introduced, and yes, I'm talking about the daycare, where you can breed Pokemon. This is important for 2 reasons. First, baby Pokemon. As the name implies, the only way to get them is by breeding its evolved form. They could get around that by just having that baby Pokemon discoverable like a normal Pokemon, but then it takes away the whole point in them. Secondly, for duplicating Pokemon. Say you caught a Dunsparce, because looking through the comment section of the last video, it seems like he's the most popular Pokemon after all. And you want to give him to everyone you care about. Easily done. Just go to the daycare. There's so much potential to make the daycare work with Pokemon Go, but I do think it should have a wait time so that people can't abuse the feature. Also, to hatch your eggs, your phone can just count your steps, just like in the real game. As long as I can breed a Skitty and a Wailord, then it's a true Pokemon game. Number 2. Wild Pokemon will be everywhere when this game comes out. Niantic Incorporated has even said that they hope that it will only take 5 minutes from leaving your house to be able to see and catch a wild Pokemon. I like that a lot. The one thing that is unclear is the capture process. What it personally feels to me is that capturing Pokemon in this game will be extremely similar to the Safari Zone, where you don't really use your own Pokemon at all to capture them. All I'm hoping for is that there will be at least the option to battle wild Pokemon. The reason why this is on the list at all is that it seems that to capture a Pokemon, it really is just a matter of having a Pokeball and pressing a button. While it would be tedious to capture a Pokemon every time you pass by one, you wouldn't be able to level up your Pokemon at all outside the trainer battles. If my Pidgey is 1 level away from leveling up, I would feel like a true Pokemon champion going off into the world in hopes of getting that 1 level off an unsuspecting Spearow. It kind of just adds to the whole feel of the Pokemon experience, and not having wild Pokemon battles, I feel may take away from that. Number 3. Now, Pokemon Go has already confirmed that they will have gyms, but I think it would be awesome to be able to run your own gyms. Now that Pokemon is the closest thing it's ever been to having a Pokemon MMORPG, why not let players be able to run their own gyms? It would be awesome to be able to press a button on your phone, or even on the Pokemon Go Plus device, and host a battle that people can either battle right then and there, or save your team to battle later. It could be a real-time battle, or even a CPU controlling them. Doesn't matter. It could even be a good way to make in-game money, as people who don't beat your team will have to give you money for losing. I think it could be one of the most fun features of the game, but I'll still be happy with any gym. Number 4. Let me say, for the record, that I do not think that you should be able to trade Pokemon to Pokemon Go, mainly for balancing reasons. But I do hope that Pokemon Go has Amiibo support in some way. A main reason may be because I use Amiibo a lot on my channel, but why not? Seeing as non-iPhone devices would be able to scan them in anyway. Since I don't think it should give you a Pokemon, it could give you a trainer costume or a Megastone or something like that. It wouldn't be too unreasonable. So far, there are 6 Pokemon Amiibo, plus potentially a whole line of Pokemon card Amiibo, starting with that Shadow Mewtwo Amiibo card coming out with Pokémon Tournament. It makes sense, and it's not that big of a deal if it doesn't unlock anything that's a game changer, although I am biased as I already have all of them. All of them. Number 5. With the introduction of Generation 6, Pokemon took a huge leap by introducing Mega Evolutions into the game. and I definitely think there is a place for them in Pokemon Go. While I still think that they should be in it, it doesn't change my unpopular opinion of not really liking Mega Evolutions for one reason alone. It seems to replace actual evolutions of Pokemon. Just look at Sableye, a Pokemon who was in desperate need of an evolution. But instead, we're given a Mega Evolution for him. Which is nice, but couldn't they just have evolved him instead? In Generation 6, only one new evolution was introduced, Sylveon. And that was really just a way to introduce the new fairy type. I'm all for Mega Evolutions on Pokemon like Venusaur and Ampharos, because I'm worth it. But this system shouldn't replace the idea of giving Pokemon brand new actual evolutions. So yeah, Mega Evolutions in Pokemon Go, yeah! Number 6. Alright, just gonna mash it to get past this. No, god damn it! Pokemon centers are extremely important in Pokemon. So, rightfully so, they should be in Pokemon Go. The main reason I hope they are in is so we wouldn't have to use consumables to heal our Pokemon. In fact, my guess is that if a Pokemon faints, you would have to wait a certain amount of time for it to be healed. That makes sense, but isn't a classic Pokemon formula. They should have Pokemon centers either scattered around in predetermined locations in your area, or give you the ability to set a Pokemon center of your own, such as at your house. This makes sense. I just hope that at the beginning of every battle, your Pokemon aren't fully healed, because that would kind of take away the feeling of taking care of your Pokemon, if that makes sense. Maybe some of you won't agree with me, but hey, this list is called 10 Things I Want in Pokemon Go after all. Number 7. Okay, this is a debatable one, but I do think that they should bring back Pokemon Ami in Pokemon Go. This was a feature that's only in Pokemon X and Y, and is a more interactive way to play with your Pokemon. You can feed them, play mini games with them, the sorts. I think that this feature would be awesome if they revamped it in Pokemon Go, as whenever I play Pokemon Ami, it felt kind of belonging on mobile rather than 3DS. If they changed the features, keeping the feeding and petting and stuff, it would be a nice feature for kids. Think about it. Instead of on a small screen where you pet your massive Arceus, you can play on your iPad, kind of similar to Tamagotchi, where you see a much bigger view of the Pokemon you're playing with. Honestly, the likelihood of this becoming a reality is slim to none, but if it's done right, I think that it could have a very, very positive reception. Maybe they won't include it right away, but in an update. The ability to interact with the already existent 3D models wouldn't be too unreasonable, I'm sure. Although, I'm not a game developer, so... you know. Number 8. So we all know that there will be this little doohickey called Pokemon Go Plus. Very similar to the Pokewalker that came with Heart Gold and Soul Silver, but designed to play with Pokemon Go specifically. While they have said that it's really a method to play the game without looking at your phone, I really hope that they don't have any exclusive features only accessible with the device. Obviously, my opinion will change if I actually get the device, but the fact that it's being advertised as simply a shortcut to your phone, I really hope it's not required to access certain features of the game. It would make sense considering the game is free, but it wouldn't be annoying to feel forced to buy the device in order to access all the features of the game. This is really a nitpick, but still I feel like this deserved a place on this list. Number 9. Alright, going out and catching Pokemon is fun and all, but what about the times where you just want to be lazy and lie down on the couch and play some Pokemon? I think that there should be some sort of offline element in Pokemon Go for sure. Once you actually capture your Pokemon, what are the things you can do with them? Perhaps you'll be able to battle preset battles such as the gym leaders from the previous games, or be able to run around in a very basic Pokemon world. Honestly, I could go on for hours with potential offline features, but there definitely should be at least one. Catching Pokemon is fun, but aside from battling against other people in the world, I hope there will be some kind of option for those of us who are feeling lazy. Well, I suppose that you can argue that we have the other Pokemon games for that. But come on, this is a what I want in Pokemon Go list. Let's get this in Pokemon Go. Oh, it's number 10. Well, looks like we made it to the end of another top 10 list, and I should definitely finish this off strong. So, what a better way than to plead to Nintendo to include unlimited Pokemon storage. I don't know about you guys, but in the past games I would always fill up my Pokemon boxes, or just run out of organizing space. The newer games seem to have fixed this problem, but considering, and I'm assuming here, this game is non-canon, then perhaps it may have limited storage, which is a big no. You should be able to have tons of these Pokemon, so I really hope that you won't be restricted to a certain amount. Even having to level up to earn more spots in the game to hold more Pokemon seems like a crime. I know I'll be happy if I never have to bring up this point again. So, there we have it. 10 more things I want in Pokemon Go. Do you agree with this list? Let me know in the comments section below. Oh, and while I have you here, I'm thinking of doing top 10s more often because you love them so much. So why don't you answer the poll on screen right now, and let me know whether you prefer either 10 things I want for the next Smash Bros, or 10 things I want in the next Pikmin. I'd love to hear from all of you. So until next time guys, make sure you like and subscribe, and I hope you enjoy. This was FishyFisher. Bye guys.